I ran for this position was education. One of the main things. Most of you know that I've spent a lot of time. I spent 4 years in the classroom in high school level, and then I got into college. And man, has it changed over the years. It really has. You know, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And we hadn't changed the way we've skinned cats in years, is the way I call it, in education. You got to move on with the times, because time's not going to wait on us. We found out a lot about our education system back during COVID, and I think a lot of our parents did, and we all learned something from it. You know, I spent a lot of my money, my own money, and plus the university's money at all the schools that I coached at, trying to get our kids back to a reading level that they should be when they got to universities. They made pretty well on their, obviously on their ACTs. They made well on some of the tests they took. They had the grades, supposedly, but they couldn't read the way they should be able to read. That's got to change. We got to teach our kids how to read, folks. I mean, if you can't do anything else, you got to be able to read because you can't learn, bottom line. You know, Alabama has recognized a lot of these failures, I'll tell you that, and we've had a lot of talks about those since I've been here in the last 3.5 years. We've addressed some of those, and I think it's very obvious, if you know anything about Alabama, how we've changed some of our education. So glad today to have Reuben Morris here. Reuben, thanks for being here. Reuben founded the Alabama Aerospace and Aviation High School in Bessemer, Alabama. He knows better than most the struggles facing our education system. He's seen it firsthand, up close. And that's what it really takes most of the time. You know, in recent years, we've been spending more and more money on education. Everybody thinks it's about money. And obviously it takes money to do a lot of things. We have to pay teachers, the best people that we can possibly get to teach our kids. That's very important, obviously, to the administrators. We shell out close to $1 trillion a year for public and elementary and secondary education in this country. $1 trillion. That's a lot of money. Close to $20,000 per student, more than anybody in the world, as we spend money on education per student. And for what? What are we getting for it? We better figure it out. One thing we know for sure, what we're doing in a lot of areas isn't working. Plenty of factors are contributing to that. We need to take a long, hard look at what exactly is failing our students. All of us need to work together to face the hard facts and start breaking away from the decades-old norms, as we all said. And Senator Cassidy said here, he's a lot older than I am, by the way. But things hadn't changed, have not changed, and you've got to change with the times. Our task today is clear. We need to dig deeper into underlying issues holding our students back from success. We need to analyze what the federal government is doing to impede progress and innovation. And we need to come together to figure out how to change the status quo forward, not the same and not backwards. Something's got to change. All that being said, we'll have a few questions for our panelists here in just a moment, but we'll turn it over to my cohort, Senator Britt, is that right? Steve, what kind of, you have any problems with the teachers and the education leaders with what you're coming up with here?
You know, there's a big concern that our work in AI could replace human teachers. And while we do believe that AI will do a lot of the teaching, we don't think it can replace the human element. It will be understanding, but we believe that, but that's really the primary concern we run up against. With this, just getting teachers to do something that they haven't done before, you don't want it just sitting in a closet, and sometimes that happens.
Amar, you got anything to add with that one?
Yeah, with the whole concept of a microschool, teachers have a lot more flexibility. So we definitely see teachers who are embracing technology, including headsets, including AI in new ways. And one of them made a really interesting statement that we shouldn't be afraid of AI replacing teachers. In the future, it will be people who teach with AI and the people who teach without AI. And the only ones who are going to get replaced are the latter. And so that's what we start to see is in microschooling, where the constraints of the traditional systems have been removed, teachers all of a sudden have this new spirit that comes up. And that spirit shows up in how students learn and how they teach and how parents get involved.
Ruben, public-private relationships, how's that going?
It's absolutely fundamental. I would like to see more of it. We utilize local companies a lot. I think of our relationship with Pinnacle Aerospace, which is located at EKY, which is the Bessemer Municipal Airport, as well as the Birmingham Flight Center. Without these two local businesses, our students would not get the flight training and aircraft maintenance training that's necessary, not only for them to reach their goals, but also to facilitate the FAA workforce development grant that we have. Our higher education partnerships extend both on the two-year college level, great leadership from Lawson State Community College, all the way up to Alabama, Auburn, and Tuskegee, as our students have pathways to those schools if they want to go, but also they keep us on the cutting edge in terms of what our kids are learning in the classroom.
How do you afford insurance for flight training, for a school like yours?
I have to go raise a lot of money.
Yeah.
But
Very expensive, right?
it is. It's about $10,000 to $12,000 for a kid to get a private pilot's license. That insurance is carried by our industry partners. Of course, the school has its own general liability and things that are necessary. But we've had philanthropists that generously set up endowments so that our kids can fly, and we found economic ways to do it by chunking their learning over the summer. We launched our very first solo flight academy this past summer, where kids actually flew for 14 consecutive days. So our kids have a lot of skin in the game. They work really hard.
Mr. Woodard, recruiting for your 40 schools, do you do that? You market? How do you do that?
A lot of it has to do with word of mouth, right? It's the reputation that you have in the marketplace.
Success always
Success, right.
prevails.
Success breeds success.
Right.
That's right, sir. And, families want to see their kids succeed. And when they see them in a corporate environment, when they get to go up to the office with them on a Sunday up to the 18th floor in downtown Chicago, the whole family experiences that success with their son or daughter, and that's infectious. And the community learns about it, and that's how best we recruit students in our communities.
Heidi, is word of mouth in school choice? Have you answered a lot of questions, a lot of other parents?
Yes, it's a lot of word of mouth, especially in the urban areas of Phoenix and in the Texas areas. We also, so we are charter, but we also in our online program, we're supporting ESA and a private model as well. So lots of word of mouth, lots of recruitment, but certainly success is the number one thing. They can see that our students are successful.
Thank you.